next question is also, I hear this a lot, especially from atheists, saying, why is there no life in 99.99% of the universe if there is a designer? How would you tell them?
Yeah. So one of the ways this is said is how can the universe be fine-tuned when so much of it isn't life permitting? And I should say, just over my shoulder, A Fortunate Universe, we spend most of chapter 7, Geraint and I, so an atheist and a Christian, dealing with a number of these, what we think are bad objections to fine-tuning as a phenomenon that means something. Obviously not the fine-tuning argument for the existence of God. Geraint doesn't buy that because he's an atheist. But just as a response to fine-tuning, which supposedly trivializes it, we think this is a bad one. I think the problem with this is it's missing the big headline here. So, you know, we're trying to look at a whole bunch of other possible ways the universe could have turned out. And we find that in the vast majority of them, nothing interesting happens. And then there's our universe with a very small bunch of friends who actually do anything interesting at all. And that seems to me to be the big headline here in terms of what does fundamental physics really say about the way our universe is put together? Is it just accidental, thrown together, any old sort of thing? Absolutely not. It is something absolutely very rare about the way our universe is thrown together. To then complain that there isn't more life in this universe that we're in is kind of missing the point, right? There's so many other possible ways where 100% of the universe would be life permitting. So to get one where it's only 99.99, and you need a lot more nines there, by the way, but whatever. To get one where there is any possibility of life, and in particular, I mean, the Earth's pretty nice, to be perfectly honest. To get one where there's any chance of life, it's such a rare phenomenon in all the ways the universe could have been that it's missing the point. I think if you tried to make this into an argument, you'd have to try and say, oh, if naturalism is true, then we would expect a universe in which life was very rare. You know, opportunities for life to exist were very rare out there in sort of space and time. And I think that's not correct. If naturalism were true, you'd expect a dead universe. You'd expect there to be no opportunities for life anywhere in space and time, not just a very small number of them. On top of that, we can see some reasons why there's something useful about a universe which is actually quite empty as a whole. For starters, we can't travel that far in our lifetimes anyway. So the Earth is plenty big if you're thinking of walking around. So what's happening in the rest of the universe doesn't really affect life forms like us because we're down here anyway. It's not like, you know, the emptiness of space is going to come crashing down on my Tuesday and ruin my Tuesday, right? We're doing just fine down here. On top of that, there's an interesting sort of section in the book on this, but if you had a universe which was completely filled with air that was breathable, in the laws of nature that we have, that would actually be disastrous. The universe as a whole would just recollapse under all the pull of gravity, or have to expand so fast that it would never form any structures. You know, the orbit of the Earth around the sun would just spiral into the sun. So within the system that we have, we see a logic behind the universe being mostly empty. On top of that, getting back to the beauty argument, we can see the night sky because, you know, all the wonders of the universe around us because the universe is mostly empty. So that seems to be a good reason to have a mostly empty universe.